All right. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm trying a new mic, so bear with me. There's a little bit of noise outside right now. I can hear the gardeners across the street, and there's some birds. I had to take down the wind chimes, and of course there was a plane earlier. But it's beautiful outside. So I like to do these outside if possible. So let me take a quick sip here. I'm also getting over a cold, so I'm going to try not to cough because that will sound amazing in the microphone. Okay, so today is a specifically requested routine. It's a beginner-friendly routine aimed at helping you release some negative emotions, promote relaxation, and generally letting go. So I would suggest this routine probably not first thing in the morning. It's not going to be super energizing unless, of course, you wake up mid-panic attack, which I've been known to do. Something kind of chill you out. Might be good for a lunch break or even an evening routine. It's kind of yin yoga to help you relax at the end of the day. Okay? So let's start by centering. We're going to do mountain pose with some breaths. So we're going to start in mountain pose and we'll go from there. I'm going to face this way because I'm going to end up leading into some forward folds. So I just want you to be able to see what I'm doing. So mountain pose, feet shoulder width apart, back straight. I like to envision a line through my body, up through my head. So no forward head like that, no like that, but it's the actual top of your head. So your chin comes in, you look forward, hands forward. Some nice rhythmic breaths. Breathe down into your diaphragm. It's good to keep your core engaged, but also release it enough that you can get a full breath. None of this upward motion, more of a down and out. So you relax your diaphragm or you relax your core enough to allow that, but without completely letting go. Okay. From here, we raise our hands above our head, which I can't do because I have a patio cover. You can either join your hands, but shoulder width and up, nice. Then we're going to swan dive down. And we're going to combine this with breaths. So when you reach up, inhale fully, and exhale, fold. Inhale fully, exhale, fold. For the fold, it's important to try to keep your core engaged and your back straight. So none of this stuff. So it always helps me to envision my chest, my heart leading towards the ground. Let's do a couple more of these. Inhale, raise your hands up. Exhale, fold. There we go. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, fold. Let's just rest here for a moment. Let your head fall, your arms relax. Let's do a half lift so that your back and your butt are in a 90-degree angle. It's like an upside down L. And then release again. All right. This next move is going to be a forward fold. Oh, we did that. Standing forward fold with shoulder opening. So let's reach up. Raise your hands one last time and release them. This one might be difficult if you are tight in the shoulders, so don't feel like you have to pull. So hold your hands behind your back, interlocking your fingers, and let's bend forward, leading with the chest. So inhale up, exhale, fold. So this will depend on your personal capabilities. If this is all you can do, 90 degrees, this is fine. If you cannot raise your hands from your back. That's fine. The idea, though, is to draw your shoulders together and opening your chest. And if you can go farther, go farther. This would be the next step. And then, if possible, raise your hands from your back. But remember, all you can do is a 90-degree angle and face the ground and stay there. Let's take a few breaths here. If you can breathe through your nose, that's great. I always like to breathe through my nose if possible, but you know, allergies, all kinds of things, inversions sometimes make it impossible. So the most important thing is regular breaths. Oh, that felt good. I feel like we've kind of set a tone and a pace for our breath. So let's continue with that. The next pose is child's pose. So we're going to take it to the mat, and that's where we're going to be for the rest of the routine. All right. The child's pose is a simple pose. If you have blocks, I'll show you how to do it with blocks. That can help get a deeper shoulder opening. But if not, if you don't have blocks, that's fine too. Or if you don't have the flexibility, just checking to make sure I'm still on. So I'll place the blocks at the top of my mat. So for child's pose, sit back on your feet, knees about width distance. If you have a belly, this is going to be helpful for you. Keep them far apart. Helps because you can rest your gut right in between them. All right, and then just walk your hands forward. Like this. Deep breaths as we reach, and exhale as we lower our face down to the ground. This is actually an active pose. It's oftentimes used as a relaxation pose, but we want to stay active in this pose. So for every exhale, reach farther with your hands while keeping your butt back. And with your exhale, lower down deeper. And if you want to push yourself a little bit farther, place your hands on blocks and do the same thing. Staying active between your hands and your hips. And keeping your butt back on your heels. One more deep breath. All right, that felt really good. After child's pose, we're going to do puppy pose. So puppy pose is kind of a cross between downward facing dog, which is probably one of the most famous or popular yoga poses, and child's pose. So again, we're going to have our hands down on the ground, but our butt is lifted. I like to engage or tuck my toes because it helps with my ankles and my ankle mobility because I'm currently going through some ankle issues. So I'm going to tuck my toes, do the same thing where I reach forward, and you push your chest down towards the ground, but your butt is up in the air and your hips are above your knees. Inhale and reach. Exhale and push farther down. I'm not pushing my chest all the way down because I don't want to muffle the microphone, but you get the idea. So inhale to reach and exhale to settle down into it. Let's do a couple more poses or a couple more breaths of this pose. Inhale to reach. Exhale to relax down into it. One more deep breath. All right, that felt good. After puppy pose, we're going to do a couple rounds of cat-cow. Cat-cow is done on your hands and your knees, and it's also rhythmic with your breath. So shoulders above your wrists, hips above your knees. You can lay your feet flat if you like. But like I said, I like to tuck my toes for a little extra added ankle mobility. So when you exhale, you arch your back, you reach your head forward, and you inhale deep, and you allow your diaphragm to open up and your core to relax enough to just get a nice full breath. Hold for a moment, and then exhale. When you exhale, you round your back, you tuck your pelvis, and your head also follows down. When you exhale fully, engaging your core and squeezing all the air out. And then we're going to inhale into cow pose. Exhale. Into cat pose. We'll do 2 more rounds of that. Inhale into cow pose. And exhale into cat pose, looking back. We'll do 1 more of those. Inhale. Exhale. All right. All right, and so we're going to move now close to the ground. We started standing. We didn't do much standing, but yeah, we're going to move farther to the ground now. This first one is going to be a forward fold, or a seated forward fold, similar to what we were doing earlier with a standing forward fold, but seated, so hence the name. If a strap helps you, that's fine. I actually have to use a strap because my hip mobility isn't the best, and also a gut, which is in the way. So the idea with a forward fold is to lead with your chest. So start by looking forward and sitting up, and instead of just like folding yourself forward and rounding, the idea is to pull. And so this is more engaging. If this is all you can do, that's fine, because you're going to feel it in your quads and your hips. You shouldn't be feeling it in your back. So if your back starts to hurt, make sure you're engaging your core and pulling forward instead of down. If you can get farther, get farther. If it helps to bend your knees, bend your knees. This is about progress, not perfection. So pull your knees, or pull your heart and your chest towards your toes. Inhale to sit up, and exhale to fold. And if this is all you can do, then this is what you have to do. Okay. Inhale to sit up. Exhale to fold forward. Your chest towards your toes. And yeah, hold like that. Okay. So from a forward fold, we're going to do a wide-legged forward fold. I'm going to face the camera so you can see this. If you have a resistance band like this, I use it to help, because this is something I've been working on for years in my splits work, which is slowly progressing. But I'm not planning on doing the splits anytime soon. This is just to help my hip mobility, because I personally carry a lot of tension and anxiety and stress in my hips. So, like that. And the same concept applies. An exhale, you sit up straight. Or an inhale, you sit up straight. And an exhale, you fold forward. And if it's just sitting up straight is all you can do, that's fine. Because you're going to feel this in your hips and in your groin. You should not be feeling it in your back. So this is all you can do. That's fine. Do this. And if you can grab your toes, that's an added bonus. The longer you sit in this, the more open your body gets. Keep that back as straight as you can. Engage the core. And fold forward. Okay, perfect. There we go. And we're going to move down. We have a few more poses to do. Next pose is going to be bridge pose. So in gymnastics, the bridge pose is when you're bent over backwards on your hands and your feet, which we're not going to do here because that's not gymnastics. But this isn't gymnastics. In yoga, the bridge pose doesn't look like what I showed you. The full bridge you see in gymnastics is actually called a wheel pose, which we're not going to do today. So lay on your back, feet hip distance apart, and that same distance between your feet is the distance between your butt and your heels. We're going to lift up our hips, tuck your shoulders back, engage your core, lift. There's a couple of different things you can do with your hands. You can lay them out to the side. You can lay them above your head like this. I personally prefer to get my shoulders back as much as I can and touch my heels. And continue to breathe. And continue to lift. It's a push with your glutes and a lift with your core. And hold here. If it's too much, feel free to take it down and get back into it. Do it as long as you can. The more you practice this, the longer you'll be able to do it for. And lower down. Okay. This next pose is going to be a supine twist. So we're going to stay on our back. Put your arms out to the side or into goalpost arms, whichever you're comfortable with. And raise your feet with your knees above your hips, your feet together, your ankles engaged. Take a couple deep breaths here. Take a deep inhale. On the exhale, we're going to twist both knees to the side. In this pose, try to keep your left knee on the ground and your knees together. And across your body, try to keep your right shoulder on the ground. So we inhale upward, and then we exhale with a twist. So the inhale keeps us straight, and the exhale allows us to get deeper into it. We're going to take a couple more breaths in this pose. Okay, knees back above your hips. Let's sit here for a moment. Deep breath. On the exhale, Rest your legs to the right. Oh, move over a little bit so I don't land those rocks. Lay your knees over to the right. Same here. Inhale to lengthen the body and exhale to deepen the twist. Your right knee is on the ground. Your left knee should be resting or as close as it can on top of that knee. And then if you can, the opposite shoulder is on the ground. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to deepen the twist. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to deepen the twist. We're going to do one more of those. One more deep breath. I lied. Felt so good I did too. Okay. And we're going to end with relaxation pose. Corpus pose is normally done when your body's straight. But like I mentioned before, because I carry a lot of tension and stress in my hips, I like to do reclined butterfly. So feel free to lay down in whatever pose you find most relaxing. That's my personal favorite. And sometimes it actually helps to place blocks or a stack of books or something outside while working on your hip mobility, because forcing your hips down isn't always fun. But if you bring the floor up to you, it allows you to relax into it a little bit easier. And put your hands to your side, put your hands above your head or out to the side. I like to rest my hands on my abdomen because I can focus on my breathing. So let's take a couple normal breaths here. Just inhale and exhale. My personal favorite breathing exercise is called box breathing, and it helps you regulate your heart rate. And it personally gets me out of fight or flight. So if I'm having a stressful moment or I'm anxious or a lot of things, I always go back to my breathing. And box breathing is the fastest way to do that. So if you picture a box, it's four sides, includes an exhale and a hold, or an inhale and a hold, an exhale and a hold. And I like to do those for 4 seconds, 4, 5 seconds, 6 seconds, whichever you choose, whichever works for you. But you want to do the same amount for each side of the box. And after just a couple of rounds of that, like I feel my entire body change. My head feels more clear. My body calms down. So controlling the breath has a lot of power over the rest of your body. So we're going to do a 4-second inhale, a 4-second hold, a 4-second exhale, and a 4-second hold. The first couple rounds, that hold when you've exhaled is a little panic-inducing because you think there's a plane going overhead, so you can hear that. Sorry. You think, oh my gosh, I don't have any breath, but there's so much oxygen in your blood that you can easily hold your breath at the bottom. So after the first couple rounds, you'll realize it's not life-threatening. So let's do an inhale, hold, exhale, hold, inhale, hold, exhale, hold, inhale, hold, exhale, hold. So continue in that pattern. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds. Exhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds. If you can, breathing through your nose is a really good way to control the amount of oxygen. It's very rhythmic and it's kind of constant. But if you have to breathe through your mouth, do that too. It usually helps if you're like breathing through a straw instead of wide mouth breathing. So let's do a couple more rounds of that. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Feel free to continue with the breathing as long as you want to. I personally find it helpful to take some moments throughout my day to breathe. Hopefully, this will help with the release of the negative emotions. Because you can get ahead of them by quickly getting into control of your breathing. And yeah, and the whole idea of promoting the relaxation and letting go. Start with your breath, and feel free to use any of these poses whenever you're feeling like you need them. Feel free to hold them even longer because we kind of went through that quickly. All right. So thanks for the request, Heather, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.